And I say this to people quite
Yeah.
often, like particularly talented young lifters, when they come in and they don't want to compete right away. And I say to them, like, you are going to make mistakes in your first few comps.
Mm.
It's inevitable. No one is perfect. Like you can
You mentioned,
try really hard in training to do all the right things to minimize your chance of making mistakes, but you're going to make a couple mistakes. It's much better to make those mistakes when the stakes are lower and there's nothing there's nothing on the line than when you're strong enough to win nationals, but maybe it's your third comp instead of your eighth comp. And now you haven't
yep,
won
yep,
nationals because you made a mistake that you wouldn't have made if you'd done a few more comps. Like the strength is one thing, but having the actual experience and the sort of like being on the platform for minutes, it matters. Like it's not just the reps you do in training, it's the reps you do on the platform that matter.
totally, totally. And because of course, back in those days, there was pretty much no coaching anywhere. Or if you had a coach, it was because you were part of a club and you actually trained at the same place at the same time as your coach, like Mildura Powerlifting or Southern or one of those places, or Melbourne Uni. So all the information I gleaned about powerlifting was from reading Louis Simmons articles on Westside Barbell or articles by a bunch of different powerlifters on Elite Fitness
Yeah.
Systems. And then every now and then I would email somebody. So if somebody was dumb enough to put their email address at the bottom of an article on the internet, I would send them an email. Just go, hey, I'm Nathan. How you doing? Do you want to chat? Can you tell me about powerlifting? And I met a lot of really cool people that way. Everyone was incredibly generous. But for me, going to a comp, whatever comp was available, and they just happened to be the first 3 comps that were available to me. It was like, okay, I've got all this information. I think I might have an idea about how this works, but I need to test it out to find out if I'm even close. And so the mistakes that I made in all of those competitions, I never ever made again. And they formed the foundation of a lot of the stuff that I do even now. But I just think that whole thing of not being ego protective and going, you know what, I could win. Like I could have won nationals if I had have got any squad in at all, then I win that year. And that would, it blew everyone out of the water anyway, that what I was even attempting, because I'd come from Karratha. I'd been training a long time without ever being able to do a comp. But yeah, like this whole idea, I don't want to lift until I'm good. It's like, no one does. But go and finish 4th. Go and finish mid-pack. Just go and have at it and realize and like divorce yourself from this thinking that you're actually competing with someone else, that somebody else's strength affects
Yeah,
your
that's a
strength.
huge one.
Because that was the big bit that I took away from it, that all these other people can be as strong as they want, and that doesn't affect how strong I am. So I can go and cheer for them. I can learn from them. I can be friends with them. I can celebrate how strong they are, and then come out afterwards and go, look at me, I'm
And
strong
I
too.
think you would have seen that at Mega Nats with a lot of the junior boys in the same class. They all get around each other. The 83s
Yeah,
was
it's
particularly
very,
awesome.
very healthy.
The guy who deadlifted for the win to beat, to tie the guy who was in first at that point and win on body weight, they like had a full on embrace afterwards. They were like, mate, awesome lifting, well done.
Yeah,
They both went 9 for 9. They both did
yeah,
pretty much just about what they could have. One of them was slightly better on the day, and that was it. And it was like really cool to see that. I say this to people all the time. Powerlifting is not a sport like rugby or basketball where you're fighting over one ball or you can push someone out of the way to win that play. It really is your turn, my turn, and your turn doesn't affect my turn. My turn doesn't affect your turn. And the kilos that I make don't take away from the kilos that you can make. It's like there's not finite kilos. We can all have as many of them as we want. And the training is even more so. Like when people get, thrown off path by seeing what their competitors do in training, it's always interesting to me. It's like, oh, this guy did 300 today. That means I have to do this. It's like, no, it doesn't mean you have to do that at all. It doesn't mean that in the slightest. And people make bad decisions because of what other people are doing when, it's not the same thing. In basketball, like if I see someone who I'm going to defend, they like to go left, I'm going to force them to their right. That's different. That's completely different because I'm impacting what they can do. It's not like you're going to their gym and putting talc in the chalk bottle when they go and do their deadlifts. It's like that would be the same thing. You could do that if you want, but
yeah,
like
right.
obviously not going
Yeah.
to do that. But yeah.
Ooh, please don't do that.